If you've just started out on YouTube, or you're a small channel, or you're just plain stuck, welcome to the only video you need to watch right now. 30 minutes and more than 150 YouTube growth hacks spread across 8 timestamp sections. So sit down, settle in, and welcome to the complete beginner's guide to YouTube. Sounds obvious, I know, but don't use YouTube's auto-selected thumbnails. Custom thumbnails will always perform better because it allows you to market the video exactly the way you want it. To upload a custom thumbnail, you don't need any views or subscribers or even an uploaded video. All you need to do is verify your YouTube account through the YouTube Studio settings. And if you are making YouTube shorts, you can select a frame from the short to be your thumbnail. I agree, it's not ideal, but it's the best we've currently got. This one's really important if you're filming in the moment or on location. Make sure to take a photo of that moment. The last thing you want to be doing is scrubbing through your video trying to find a decent thumbnail. It's too late by then. If, on the other hand, you're going to be filming in a more controlled environment, then try this. Create your thumbnail before you even press record. This will ensure that the thumbnail gets the time it deserves from you because, after all, it is the first thing everyone sees. Design your thumbnail to be simple. Only convey one message. Don't try and tell the viewer everything about the video in the thumbnail. If you confuse, you're going to lose. As a general rule of thumb, forgive the pun, spend more time on your thumbnails than you currently are. Too many creators design thumbnails and write titles as an afterthought when they are in fact the key to unlocking the door to your video. If you're going to use a face in a thumbnail, zoom in close so you get a really strong emotion. A facial expression on a thumbnail can subconsciously communicate with the viewer, and that will spark interest and empathy, resulting in a click. Always try to maintain a consistent thumbnail style. It establishes brand identity and makes it easier for return viewers to identify your content when they see it on YouTube. If you do want text in your thumbnails, use it sparingly. Cleaner thumbnail designs are more visually appealing and easier to comprehend at a glance. We would recommend using 4 words or less in your thumbnails. Don't be afraid to test different thumbnails. In fact, have 2 or 3 thumbnails for the same video and test them over a period of time. This will help you understand what resonates with your audience and help you guide future thumbnail creations. I know you likely design your thumbnail on a big screen, but they're going to be viewed on a tiny screen. So design your thumbnails with that in mind. Don't fill it up with too many elements. Simple clarity will improve clickability. Where possible, use high quality images in your thumbnails. This will make your content appear more engaging and trustworthy. And a pro tip, you might want to over sharpen your images because when the thumbnail is shrunk down, they look super crispy. Make sure your thumbnail aligns and complements the video title. Misleading thumbnails can disappoint the viewer, and that affects your credibility. You don't want to see any clickbait from you creators out there. And since we're talking about the thumbnail and the title complementing each other, try not to repeat the title in the thumbnail and vice versa. It's just wasted time and effort. The best thumbnails stop you from scrolling, and the title seals the deal and wins a click. Use bright, eye-catching colors in your thumbnails. They're going to stand out against all of those other thumbnails on YouTube and win you a click. Pro tip, use a color scheme that none of your competitors use to really stand out. Use vidIQ's thumbnail preview tool to compare your design against other videos already published on YouTube. This will help you determine if your thumbnail really stands out before you even publish your video. If it doesn't, you can go back to the drawing board, design a new thumbnail, and you haven't lost your initial video's velocity when it gets published. Use contrasting colors for text and background. This is going to greatly improve readability, especially, and remember, when those thumbnails are shrunk down to size. Pro tip, don't use red text on thumbnails unless you know which colors they really contrast well with, which is typically white. Choose images that start a story in a thumbnail. This will pique viewer curiosity and can give a sense of what the video is about without revealing too much. You have to maintain a balance between text and images. Both elements can work together well, but often we see too much text on thumbnails. Remember, 4 should be your limit. Try using a number in your thumbnail for list-based videos. This will give a clear indication of the video's format, attracting viewers interested in that type of content. And a bonus tip, use a random number to create more intrigue. When you find a thumbnail style that works, start applying it to all the videos. This keeps your content fresh and can revive interest in older videos. Just make sure that you're doing it on videos that are just as relevant today as the day they were published. Mr. Beast, for example, has done this very successfully, generating hundreds of millions of views on videos that are years old. Use arrows or shapes to highlight important parts of the thumbnail. This is going to draw attention to key elements, increasing intrigue and clickability. If you use text in your thumbnails, make it large and legible. This will make it easy to understand the video's topic at a glance. Again, it all goes back to the size of a thumbnail. It's going to be tiny, so you need to be able to read that text. Include objects, props, and elements that are related to the video. This will hint to what the content is actually about. It makes it more appealing to the potential viewer, but remember, you don't need to include every element, just 1 or 2 should suffice. Humans naturally relate to other humans, so use them in the thumbnail. It's going to make the video more attractive to viewers and differentiate yourself from the wave of AI content that's coming to YouTube. Experiment with different font styles of text until you find the right one. The right typography can really add to the style and effectiveness of a thumbnail. And again, as a pro tip, chunkier fonts tend to be easy to read. Use before and after images for transformational content. This instantly communicates the value and the outcome of a video, which is going to win you clicks. Regularly analyze the performance of your thumbnails. This data-driven approach can help you identify what works and what doesn't on your channel for your audience. The key number obviously here is click-through rate, but don't compare that to other channels. Benchmark your own click-through rate and aim to improve on it. But remember, if views go massively up, that can lower click-through rate. That's not a bad thing. Avoid placing important elements in the bottom right-hand corner of the thumbnail. This is where YouTube's timestamp is going to be, and it will obscure any elements that you put down there. Test the visibility of your thumbnail in grayscale. This will help with the accessibility of your content. Say, for example, a person with a color vision deficiency. It's the same as adding subtitles to your videos. You want everybody to enjoy your content. As an experiment, you can try hand-drawn or animated style thumbnails. Again, unique designs, especially against your competition on YouTube, can really help your thumbnail stand out amongst your audience. Another option might be to use borders or frames on your thumbnails. These will add a subtle visual flair and make them stand out against YouTube's UI. Wherever possible, incorporate popular trending themes and topics in your thumbnails. This will capitalize on current viewer interests, making them potentially more viral. Talented thumbnail designers will make use of negative space. It makes the overall design cleaner, but also focuses the viewer's attention to key elements in the thumbnail. Where possible, try to add a sense of urgency or time sensitivity in your thumbnails. If potential viewers have that fear of missing out feeling, they're going to click on it immediately. Consider using a captivating quote or statement from your video. Again, this can pique interest in the viewer and set the tone or topic of the content. But remember, 4 words, please. Wherever possible, use visual hierarchy in your thumbnail design. It guides the viewer's eyes to the most important elements of the thumbnail first. That is one of the best ways to convey the message of the thumbnail as effectively as possible. Try testing different background colors on your thumbnails. Remember, YouTube has a light and dark mode. How do your thumbnails contrast with those 2 strong colors? Keep your titles concise and catchy. Short, intriguing titles are more likely to catch the viewer's attention and earn you a click. If you do write longer titles, they're more likely to be cut off when viewed on YouTube through the homepage, for example. Our general recommendation is to write titles that are 60 characters or less. If you can get it under 50, and obviously avoid clickbait. Instead, create curiosity. Misleading titles lead to viewer disappointment, whereas a curious title backed up by good content will make the viewer watch for longer. Use numbers when you can, such as top 5 or 10 ways to. They give clear structure and viewers love listicles. The bigger the number, the more impressive the video. And pro tip, use a random number. If you're creating search-based content, then include your primary keyword in the video title. When it comes to search-based content, YouTube does rely a little bit more on metadata. Again, for search-based videos, convey the main benefit or value in the title. This will immediately communicate to the viewer what they're going to gain from it, so they're more likely to watch it. Whereas for browse-based traffic, use powerful emotive language. Words that trigger emotions make the viewer feel something before they've even clicked on the video. That is a powerful marketing tool. Use brackets or parentheses to highlight additional info in the title. This could be to add context, create intrigue, or just looks visually different to all other titles. Leverage brand names in your titles where applicable. This is going to make the content more relatable to the viewer and far more searchable. You can also mention a well-known celebrity or figure in your titles. Famous names draw more interest, attention, and again, are searchable. You can pitch the title in the form of a question. This will likely form an immediate opinion in the viewer's mind, making them more likely to watch the video to find out whether or not the video agrees with them. Try using strong call to action words. Words like learn, discover, and find out in the video title can motivate the viewer to engage with your content. Experiment with humor and wordplay, especially in entertainment and meme style content. A clever and funny title can make the video stand out. Remember, you're not going after search-based traffic, you're going after intrigue and curiosity. Try to avoid industry-specific jargon. While that may target specific audiences, it can alienate a broader viewership. This is why you should use primary, popular, well-known keywords in your titles. You can get into the real detail, the jargon, once the viewer is in the video. Highlight exclusivity or limited availability. Remember, fear of missing out. Words such as first look or exclusive review create urgency. Avoid using all caps and excessive punctuation. It can appear shouty, spammy, and may put off viewers. Unless, of course, this titling style matches your target audience. You can use all caps as a scalpel, however, maybe on specific words to really emphasize their point in the title. We've already said this, but it does bear repeating. Don't repeat the words in your thumbnail in your title. Typically, the title and the thumbnail complement each other. They don't replicate each other. Although there are exceptions, you can do this sometimes in search-based content. If you just want to be super simple and super clear with the video's intent, you can test it. As with brands or celebrities, include locations in your title. That will bring immediate viewer recognition and more search engine optimization. Use compelling adjectives that can enhance your title. Words such as amazing, incredible, unbelievable will spice things up. Use versus or VS in comparison videos. This instinctively signals head-to-head competition, and viewers love opinions. Mention the year for time-sensitive content. This helps your viewer to know that your content is up to date. But as a pro tip, if your content is just as relevant this year as it was last year, you can simply change the year number on the title. Use personal pronouns such as you and your. This can make the title feel a little more personal and connected with the viewer, allowing them to engage more with the content. And if you're still struggling with titles, simply type in a couple of keywords into our title generator, and that will create some intriguing, clickable titles in a matter of seconds. Here's the most important thing you need to know. Replace the word algorithm with audience. That's how it works. The goal of the YouTube algorithm is to find the right video at the right time for the right audience that ultimately satisfies them. It is not designed to find viewers for creators' videos to boost views. Once you put audience in front of algorithm, I guarantee you will start to grow your channel. But of course, there are outside pressures as well, TikTok being one of them. So, leverage YouTube Shorts when it's appropriate for your content. The algorithm is promoting this part of the platform heavily, and it can grow your channel very, very quickly if you get it right. Focus on getting viewers to watch more videos on the YouTube platform. The algorithm values session watch time, so if multiple videos are watched, you're going to get rewarded for it. Click-through rate is important. The higher it is, the better your thumbnails are, the more people watching your content. But it's hard to give you a definite number to aim for. Click-through rate can vary from topic to topic, and sometimes when you get loads of views, click-through rate actually goes down, which isn't a bad thing. It just means YouTube's sharing your content with a wider audience. So the best way to look at this is to benchmark your own click-through rates. What is your click-through rate after an hour, 12 hours, 24 hours? If the percentages are higher or lower than those benchmarks over time, you'll start to get an idea of which videos are performing better than others. Typically, the first 24 hours after publishing a video can be crucial. In particular, if YouTube starts to see positive signals from click-through rate and watch time very early on, you can start to see a boost in views in the first few hours of a video's life. At the same time, some videos need time to breathe, especially search-based content. Content can flatline for days, weeks, sometimes even months before it starts to get picked up by YouTube's search algorithms. So try to understand the intent of your video. Do you aim to get tons of views in a short period of time for not very long? Or do you want your content to be evergreen and last for years and years? Don't neglect your older videos. They all have a chance on YouTube. The key question you have to ask yourself is the content that I made then still relevant now? If it is, and you have improved your thumbnail skills and your title writing capabilities, then it might be worth revamping that video. It won't reset the way the YouTube algorithm looks at the video, but it will treat it differently over time. Here's another key one. Recognize that the YouTube algorithm is different for every single viewer. Personalized recommendations, such as the homepage, browse suggested, are all influenced by an individual's watch history and viewing preferences. Be aware that the algorithm doesn't necessarily favor frequent uploading. While consistency is key, the algorithm favors value and quality for its viewers. If your content is very unique and impossible to replicate, viewers will wait as long as they need to for you to publish your next video. However, if your videos are very similar to other creators and you don't post for a while, then YouTube's going to find alternatives for those viewers who still want to watch videos. Keep in mind that watch time also includes the rewatching of videos. That's why sometimes you get over 100% audience retention, especially on YouTube Shorts. So try to create moments that the viewer wants to rewatch or replay the entire video, especially when it comes to YouTube Shorts. Try to understand that a viewer's watch history massively impacts recommendations, probably more than who the viewer is subscribed to. It is likely that when a viewer watches somebody's content, they will be recommended more from that same creator very, very soon. And that's why your videos need to consistently speak to a target audience. The algorithm doesn't specifically favor any type of video format, be it live streams, premieres, or just regular video on demand stuff. There are many examples of live streams turning into evergreen content long after it was published. It all depends on viewer behavior and how your different formats appeal to the current behavior of a viewer. But at the same time, YouTube Shorts can't really be ignored at the moment. This is a fact. Monetized videos do not impact the YouTube algorithm. When we tested this by monetizing 30 of our videos, views actually went down. All that matters to the algorithm is whether the viewer is satisfied. As for subscribers, they don't automatically mean more views for your videos. As we've said, the algorithm looks at viewer behavior, what they've watched in the past. For example, a person is much more likely to see one of your videos if they watched one of your videos recently, say in the last week, as opposed to subscribing to the channel 3 or 4 months ago and they haven't watched anything since. Shorter videos can perform just as well as longer videos. And in this respect, we're not talking about YouTube Shorts. While watch time is a factor, viewer satisfaction is crucial. And if you get a viewer into a binge session of short videos, the YouTube algorithm is influenced by millions of data points, which means that it's impossible to hack. But that also means it's constantly evolving and changing over time. So don't expect to enjoy the same type of success in 2 or 3 years' time if you're doing exactly the same thing. Remember, it's all about the audience and their habits change. Mentally prepare yourself for viral content being very temporary. A spike in views can be a really nice dopamine hit, but when you can't sustain that, the stress does start to press down on your shoulders. Consistent, progressive growth is much better for your mental health. Likes are good. Comments are good. They do play a role, but other satisfaction metrics such as click-through rate and watch time are much more heavily weighted. The algorithm doesn't punish or hate smaller channels. We have seen many examples of a creator's first video blowing up on YouTube. It just usually takes a little longer for the YouTube algorithm to identify it and serve it up to the right audiences. Patience is key. Define a YouTube channel niche based on your passion and expertise. Your passion will keep you motivated while the expertise delivers the value and quality to your audience. Make sure to research existing channels in your niche. Obviously, understanding what works is very important, but it also allows you to spot gaps where you can carve out your own unique space within your niche. Align your channel focus with your target audience's interests. What may help you with this is writing out a value proposition. This ensures that your content is always relevant and appealing to the type of audience you want to attract to your channel. Absolutely monitor trends within your niche, but always stay true to your channel's main focus. Trends can boost your visibility while consistent focus retains the core audience. Now then, two sides of the same coin. Diversify within your niche to keep your content fresh. Covering different aspects and subtopics within your niche will attract a wider audience, but also remember to maintain consistency within your niche. It builds the channel's identity and brand so that your viewers know what to expect from video to video. That can be really important for return viewers who may become subscribers. And then once you do have a niche, you can experiment with different video formats. These could be tutorials, vlogs, entertainment, interviews. Try to establish what your viewing preferences are. As you do this, you'll start to develop a unique perspective and approach to your niche. This will set you apart from other channels and make both you and your content irreplaceable. And then when thinking about your channel, develop a very compelling front page to attract visitors. This will be the channel banner, channel icon, channel name, and very importantly, the first line of your about section. This helps potential viewers and subscribers instinctively and instantly know what your channel's about. Use the first 50 characters of your about section as the title of your YouTube channel. This text appears on your channel page and should be the guiding principle behind every single video that you make. Participate in niche-related communities outside of YouTube. For example, Reddit and Discord are a goldmine for this type of stuff. It will broaden your audience if you're providing valuable information within those communities, and it provides valuable insight into viewer interests and concerns within the niche. Learn the language of your niche through keywords. For example, if you type in a couple of broad keywords into our keyword research tools, you will get a ton of information that's going to help you in the long run. You will discover all of the popular phrases that surround that keyword and literally hundreds of questions that you can start answering in your videos for your niche. And of course, provide value within your niche. Whether it's entertainment, education, or inspiration, if you deliver value, those viewers will come back. And just as a final thought, if you're more interested in profit than passion within your niche, then you'll want to take into account CPMs for different video topics. This can impact everything from sponsorships to affiliates to selling digital services. If that's top of mind, then don't just choose a niche with a huge audience, because CPMs and general revenue income is likely to be lower. Take gaming, for example. Create high quality, engaging content consistently. Put simply, quality and consistency help retain viewers, and they turn into subscribers. Give viewers a clear call to action, asking them to subscribe. You'll be surprised just how effective a simple ask can be. But ask a viewer to subscribe after you've delivered some value. This could be a minute into a video, in the middle of a video, or towards the end. If you engage the viewer first, they'll be more likely to engage back with a subscription. Where possible, collaborate with other YouTubers where you think there is a shared audience. Their subscribers will likely become interested in your content and likely subscribe to you too. Engage with your viewers outside of their videos by responding to as many comments as possible. This interaction makes viewers feel valued and builds a community, which is likely going to lead to more subscribers. Share behind the scenes stories and personal content. This will make viewers feel more connected to you as a creator, and again, they'll likely subscribe to join you on that journey. Analyze your analytics to understand what content attracts subscribers. You can see how many subscribers each individual video is generating for the channel. It won't take you long to find out which types of videos convert the most subscribers. Host live streams to directly interact with your audience. Again, this personal engagement can foster a sense of community. Highlight channel milestones and celebrate with your viewers. This creates a positive, inclusive atmosphere where we're all in this together. Having said that, don't dedicate entire videos to small milestones. For that, use the community tab or just briefly mention it as a side note within the video itself. As we've mentioned before, if you can create content around trending topics that relate back to your niche, that has viral potential. Trend-based content will attract a wider audience and could bring in loads of subscribers, but remember, the videos you make after that viral content need to engage those new subscribers. Consider viewer requests and suggestions for new content. For example, you could say that this video was inspired by this comment. If viewers feel as if they're being heard and valued by the content creator, that's going to build trust and loyalty, and you'll probably earn a subscription from it. We've briefly mentioned it, but use the YouTube community tab to engage with your audience. Pretty much everyone has access to it these days, and I recommend posting at least once a day, especially when you've not published a video. The true power of the community tab is that it reaches new audiences, just like videos, and there is a subscribe button on every community post. This is more of a views booster, but of course remind every subscriber to turn on the notification bell. That should mean, according to YouTube, that every time you post a video or go live on your channel, a notification is sent to that subscriber. Although, does that happen in reality? Create content that engages the viewer in the first few seconds of a video. This is crucial for retaining viewers, increasing average view duration, and massively impacting the watch time of your videos. To that end, do not create video intros. Instead, create video hooks. Don't start a video introducing yourself, your channel, and what you do. Instead, reinforce the value you promised in your title and your thumbnail. Create series-based content that establishes consistency on your channel. This will encourage the viewer to watch multiple videos in one sitting, increasing your session watch time. Use analytics to understand when your viewers stop watching. This will help you identify the parts of the videos you need to improve. In particular, focus on the first 30 seconds of your video. YouTube even dedicates a panel to this information. How many people are still watching your video after 30 seconds? Engage viewers by asking questions and canvassing opinions. This will make your viewers feel more involved. And as a pro tip, try asking your audience a question just after the video hook, within the first 30 seconds of a video. Use subtitles and closed captions. Put simply, this will make your content more accessible to a much wider audience. And viewers often watch videos in noisy environments, so they really appreciate the closed captions. Leverage storytelling techniques to engage the viewer. An interesting narrative will keep the viewer watching for longer. Even in this massive tutorial, there is a subtle story being told. Address viewers' comments and questions in your videos. This can encourage viewers, especially those who feel part of your community, to watch for longer to see if their input was included in your video. Use pattern interrupts such as quick cuts, changing the camera angle, and fancy graphics. Changing what the viewer sees and hears can reset their attention. Where appropriate, use timestamps and chapters. In particular, with longer videos, you want the content to be as accessible as possible. I mean, let's be honest, this video would be a bit of a nightmare if it didn't have timestamps. Does that reduce watch time? Well, think of it like this. Do you want the viewer to watch for longer, but be really frustrated by the video and probably never watch any of your videos again? Or be really satisfied by the segment that they watched, meaning that they're much likely to return to your future videos? Keep your edits tight. Trim any unnecessary footage to maintain pace. Be ruthless. Use transitions wisely. Too many can be distracting, but a well-placed transition guides the viewer through the narrative of a video. When it comes to quality, audio is more important than video. The simple truth is, bad audio is far more distracting than bad video, as you can tell right now. Incorporate B-roll where appropriate. This additional footage can add context, cover your cuts, and make the content more engaging. But don't use generic B-roll just for B-roll's sake. Use music and sound effects sparingly. They can really enhance the video when used appropriately, but can be distracting when overused. Edit with the mobile viewer in mind. Most viewers will be watching on a small screen, so ensure that text and graphics are visible when you shrink it down to about this size. Try to establish a visual style throughout your content. What we're talking about here is a consistency in graphics, animations, color schemes, and fonts. This helps build your brand and make your content more recognizable instinctively. Use text overlays for key points. This will reinforce important information and aid viewer comprehension. Use jump cuts strategically. This is really effective for cutting out pauses and awkward silences, keeping the pace of a video flowing, unless you're being intentional with your pauses. Jump cuts will keep the viewer's attention, and this video contains literally hundreds of them. Use L and J cuts. This is where audio from the next clip starts before or after the end of the previous clip. Again, this will add a dynamic feel to your video edits. A good editor knows the program that they use inside and out, so learn all of the keyboard shortcuts. Over the long term, this will probably save you days of editing time. Use slow motion and time-lapse effects. They can emphasize important or inspirational moments. They're also great for montage moments and just changing the pace of a video and keeping it fresh and dynamic. Try to remember rule of thirds. Place important elements along these lines or the intersections. This is going to help you create a balanced composition in your video frame. We've already mentioned this in other tips, but of course don't forget to use stock footage as B-roll and animations and graphics. This will often turn into B-roll footage, and remember, show more than you tell. But remember, when you use this footage, be mindful of copyright. Anything you haven't originally created belongs to someone. So make sure you understand if and how you can use it on YouTube. Understand your audience. Tailor your script so that it resonates with your viewers' interests, language, and cultural references. Start with that hook. Those first few lines of your video should grab the viewer's attention. From a scripting point of view, write a hook that is 30 words or less. That should be about 10 seconds of content. Keep it conversational. Write as if you're speaking to a friend that you know well. Remember that you're not delivering a lecture. This is going to make your content more relatable to your audience. When writing your script, plan for visuals. Writing a script should help you reduce waffle. Keep it concise. Get to the point quickly. Don't use unnecessary jargon and go off in tangents, unless that's what you intentionally want to do with your audience. Always keep this thought at the front of your mind. Respect the viewer's time. Plan calls to action into your script, whether it's asking them a question or getting them to subscribe. But remember, strategically place these calls to action throughout the video, not all at the very beginning. Be authentic. Write in your own voice that's true to your personality. That's going to build relatability, trust, and credibility with your audience over the long run. If you do decide to use a script, revise and rehearse. A script gives you the opportunity to fine-tune it for clarity and impact. And the more you rehearse it, the smoother your delivery is going to be. But remember, keep it authentic and in your voice. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of humor in your videos. Even for how-to and tutorial videos, it now becomes edutainment. Oh, come on. Vary sentence structure and length. Mixing long and short sentences will make your script more dynamic and easier to listen to. Here's an important one. Anticipate how the viewer is going to react to your content. This allows you to tackle the inevitable questions in the video rather than having to deal with it in the comments after the video is published. This is especially important with opinion-based videos. Practice good pacing if you're using a script. Avoid rushing through the script and also going off topic so that you waffle. And this is a very new one, leverage AI. Fun fact, I used vidIQ's very own AI coach to script a lot of this video, and it took around about 90 minutes. Whereas if I was to think up all of these tips and script them myself, it would have taken days. And that, my friends, is what we're dedicated to doing here at vidIQ, transforming your passion into YouTube presence. If that sounds like you, then we have one simple ask. Subscribe to vidIQ and turn on that notification bell so that the next time we go live, we can give you a free channel audit. Thanks for watching. I'm knackered. I need a rest.